Okay, welcome to the Lobo podcast. On this episode, we got Tito. Also, quick note: this episode is a little bit late. It's supposed to come out Monday mornings. It's Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know. I'm recording this right now on Tuesday night. The intro because I went out to drink. I think the first time really since July or something. Not a lot, but had a few drinks. Just trying to get laid. Didn't get laid. Got cock blocked by this fat lesbian. Anyways, but I digress. So today we got Tito. Tito, half Puerto Rican, half Mexican. Grew up in Chicago. Would spend his summers in Mexico, Christmas in Puerto Rico. 2015, he was working this corporate job 2015. Had a bad breakup with this girl he was with for 8 years in all his 20s, and then decided, boom, I want to go travel the world. So he's been, was it 18 countries or something like that he's been over? He tells some cool stuff about his parents, his mom. He knows a lot more about his mom and his parents. They know how they met. I don't even know that. I don't know anything about my parents now that I think about it. I should maybe talk to my mom more. I realized from this episode. Talks about the breakup, how it changed him, how he wanted to start doing comedy, kind of the story where he was in a different country. I don't know if it was Colombia or Thailand or something. And he's like, man, kind of realized this is what I want to do, fish fillets. Not he wants to do fish fillets, but we talked about fish fillets. Talked about Thailand. There was some cool stuff about Thailand. This cool mushroom party and some other of Tito's travels. Talked about crazy Latinas. At the end, actually, I talked about his sister a little bit, who dates like 9 white dudes or something. So that would not fly with Latinos. So all right, everybody out. Check out this episode of the Lobo Den with Tito.
This is my normal talk.
All right, if you didn't hear, that's Tito. All right, this is the Lobo Den podcast. I don't know if I should say my name. Giovanni Diaz. Do people know who I am who listen to this? I don't know.
Test 1 2 1 2. Test 1 2 1 2.
We got Tito on here. Tito, you want me to just say Tito, or you want me to use your?
Nah, dog. Just say Tito.
You don't want to use your last name?
There's no need for it.
What is your last name?
There's no need for it.
Wow, I'm gonna tag you all over.
There's my last name.
It sounds white, right? Like
nah, dog. My name is Jorda Cid.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no one in the world.
What? So your full name is Jordasi?
Jorda Cid.
Like Sid, but with a C. Like Psycho Sid, but with a C-I-D.
Yeah, C-I-D. Cat as in, C as in cat, I-D as in dog.
What is that?
Jorda Cid.
Oh, I don't know.
So Jorda.
So is that
it's
Mexican?
Actually Jorda. It's actually a French origin name. My grandpa's family. So my grandpa was the one of like 6 brothers, I think, that wasn't born in Spain. He was born in Mexico. So the rest of his family was born in Spain. And they come from this town that borders, it's like a Spanish town, but it borders France.
Okay.
And so it's a very common French name, Jorda.
Jorda.
Yeah, and we have it. And then Sid, C-I-D, is my mom's. That's also, even though she's Puerto Rican, it's a Spanish name. I think it came from the El Cid, which was a Muslim, like the greatest Muslim warrior that fought in Spain against the Catholics or whatever. And the name Sid kind of stood as like a symbol of whatever. And then somehow my mom's family got to Puerto Rico and we had that name.
So growing up, you were what, Tito, Jordan, or Jordan?
I was Tito I've been Tito my whole life. And Jordan Sid was like just my last name. In Spanish is Jorda Cid.
So that's a real name. I thought on Facebook it was one of those like you were hiding from somebody.
Nah,
you were using that name.
used to go by RJ Sid because my initials would be and still are RJ Sid because I was in marketing and in real estate and it just sounded a little bit cleaner than Roberto. And I go by Tito because my dad was Roberto. And so I've been Robertito. And just to make it easier for everybody, I just go by, I've been called Tito since I was born. They're just the only people that call me Roberto are people that give me jobs or teachers.
When you apply for a job, what are you?
Roberto.
Roberto.
Yeah, but once
you don't
we
go by
get
Robert.
hell no, dude. I actually one time, bro, I got on this school bus and the teacher took everybody's IDs for roll call and shit. And we're sitting there, and she's right next to me, and she's calling out the whole bus. We can't leave until everybody's there. And then she just, David, this, da da da. And then she's like, Robert. I made this
like
bitch.
Mueller,
I made this bitch sit there. This bitch stand there for like 5 whole minutes. She's like, it's a Robert Jordis. And I was like, oh, Roberto, you blind bitch.
Oh, she didn't say the O.
No, she didn't. I'm like, who the fuck is Robert? That's like you calling me Bobby, nigga. That's what we can't do that. You can't be doing that.
She didn't say, she was a white lady, right?
Of course, bro.
Yeah,
of course. They always want to do Robert when they see Roberto. Fucking gentrifying my name.
And then what? Bitch. What? Hey, you just waited until she said it, or what?
She waited till she realized that she needed to say the
O. Oh, how'd you say it? Is it Roberto?
She's like, oh, Roberto, and I was like,
yeah, right here.
It's been me the whole fucking time, bitch. I've been sitting next to you this whole time.
Oh man, dude.
Let her fucking learn, bro. Say the whole name.
All right, Tito. So, wait, you were born in Chicago, right? You were raised up here?
No, I was born in Mexico City in 1984.
Oh, you're Chilango.
Yeah, and I was raised until I was
84.
about 3.
Same year.
Yeah, I was there till my mom is Puerto Rican, and she got a job offer in Chicago, and she me and my sister were already born, and she just kind of made a last minute decision to leave Mexico and go to Chicago, and that's how we came.
So you were 3.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom was living in Mexico for a while now? She's
yeah,
Puerto Rican, but she was living in Mexico.
Yeah, she was there. She had gone to Mexico initially with her program, a college program. She's a professor that teaches English and all that jazz. And she had, at the time, a husband who was teaching throughout different colleges in Chile and so on and so forth. And then she loved Mexico and then got a divorce from him. Long story short, she left Puerto Rico to get away from him. And she was like...
The dude was Mexican?
No, he was Puerto Rican. This is not an easy story.
I'm sorry I rolled my eyes.
My mom was married. She traveled Latin America with this guy.
This Puerto Rican.
This dude, yeah, John.
John the Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's a genius. So he was like going to all these schools and giving all these dissertations and shit. And they went to Mexico. My mom loved Mexico. Long story. They go back to Puerto Rico. My mom decides to divorce this guy against all odds. And she leaves him, and she
against all odds, like
because she was gonna be a single mom with 3 kids, and just nowhere to go. She hadn't finished law school. He stopped her from finishing law school twice. Just a whole thing, like a very manipulative.
Why did he stop her?
He's an egotistical bastard, still kind of is. And my mom decided to get away from him. The only place she knew where she could go and hide was Mexico. She went, she hid, she got a job.
Was he like a stalker or what?
Nah, she just needed to get away like completely from everything. And the dude had his hands in like colleges everywhere. He was a very sought out speaker.
And that's what she was doing, working in the colleges.
And then she got into Mexico. She started teaching English. She was living in this apartment. And Mexico's trifling as shit, especially in the 70s. And her landlord like doubled her rent overnight. Is basically just trying to kick her out because she was foreign. My mom has she bleaches. She changes her hair blonde. She's a tiny little Puerto Rican lady. But when you see pictures of her and you're like in Mexico in the 70s, everybody got black hair. And then you see this fucking like poof, this little blonde
chick.
Yeah. And she needed a lawyer. And when she went to the law office, that lawyer was my father.
Oh, really? Your dad?
Yeah. And he asked her out, and they lived in Mexico for almost a decade. And then that's when my mom was like, fuck it, we're moving to the States. I'm taking the kids, and you should come. And my dad was like, all right.
I just realized I don't even know how my parents met.
Yeah, no.
How do you know all this? I mean, you talked to your mom, obviously.
We're all storytellers, bro. My entire family is a bunch of storytellers.
Okay.
And my dad used to drive me and my cousin to school in the morning. And all he would do was tell us stories, and then a thing happened and he's no longer with us, and then my mom drove me and my cousin to school in the mornings, and she would tell us stories, and she told us the whole story of how they met and how everything went down. I should ask her again. I should record it with her.
I should ask my mom how she met.
Yeah, you should record that. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Nah, I'm recording.
Because my mom's like a fucking tragic warrior. But eventually we got to Chicago. I went to school here. My sister went to school here. The plan was it's always like this with Mexicans.
How old were you? So you moved here when you were 3?
Yeah, I was 3. I didn't speak any fucking English. I mean, I didn't speak anything, to be honest with you. But I learned English and Spanish simultaneously. But every summer, I would leave Chicago to go back to Mexico to live with my cousins.
I did that with LA.
Yeah, we have this big ass like property in Mexico City where there's like my 3 tias lived and all their kids and cousins, my cousins. So we would just live there. So I would finish the school year here, and the next day or two I'd be on a plane back to Mexico. And then like a day or two before school started, I would be on a plane back to Chicago, and then for Christmas I'd be on a plane to Puerto Rico. Because that's where my mom's her first family was at, my half brothers and sisters. And I don't call them half. I hate hating that word, but that's technically what they are. But they're my brothers and sisters. So I would go to Puerto Rico for Christmas, Chicago school year, and the summer was Mexico. And that would repeated itself until I got really serious with swimming. And I started.
Where'd you lose virginity? In the States, in Mexico,
yeah,
Puerto
in the
Rico?
States,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I didn't bang in Puerto Rico till like a year or two ago.
How old were you? I was 18.
I was in my 20s. In my 20s. Not including a girlfriend. I don't know. In Mexico, I didn't really have a lot of luck with ladies. I was always with cousins. We never really like wilded out. So I never did anything until. Oh, I can't say.
Wait, what? Was your cousin? Wait, what?
Nah. I was with I slept with this girl, but it was not fair because that was cheating on my girlfriend at the time that I had here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the girlfriend you broke up with, or a different girlfriend?
The girl I broke up
in
with.
2015.
Yeah.
That was a tough year for you, right?
That was a terrible year. Great year, but terrible.
It was very.
It's one of those years that you need to go through in life to get to where you need to go, and it's like the hardest thing you'll ever do. You know, it's the boot camp for the real life.
I feel like I have those every few fucking months now. I swear to God, dude.
Because you make fucking stupid ass decisions.
I do.
Bro.
Like I'm 35. We're the same age, dude. I don't fucking learn, dude. I swear, dude.
You make decisions like you 18 in high school and have a bag of blow, bro.
I do, dude. I think because I was a late bloomer. I don't know. Man.
I don't know what it is, man.
I don't know
You motherfuckers, you either learn or you don't learn. And I fortunately, because I dated this girl throughout my 20s, I didn't really go wild. Like I didn't go wild. I wasn't able to. I didn't have.
When did you meet? How old were you when you met this girl you dated for 8 years, right?
Yeah, we dated for basically we were together for almost 8 years. I met her when I was 23.
Where'd you meet her?
Her
friends or
we met through friends. Both of our mutual friends' parents put them on J-Date. You know, the Jewish dating thing.
Why? You're Jewish?
No, dog.
Oh, wait, what?
Hold on. So my roommate is half Mexican, half Jewish.
Okay.
And his mom is the Jew.
The mom, so he's a Jew because the mom is a Jew. The rule.
Yeah, basically.
Jew
He's fucking Mexicano.
Yeah, hey, paisa,
yeah, he's fucking like Mexican and shit.
Okay,
but then he's also super Jewish in the way he thinks about business, the way he's always
a Jew paisa.
Yeah,
that's pretty badass.
And so I moved in with him because we worked at the same place. I wanted to live in Lakeview or whatever, and he got on J-Date and went on a bunch of dates, and then he ended up dating this one girl, and this girl ended up meeting me when she visited the apartment, and she's like, oh, I'm going to bring my friend over later. And I was like, I don't give a fuck, bitch. I don't give who the fuck are you? I'm 23. I'm in my prime. You know what I'm saying? I look good. I live in Lakeview. I'm getting ass on the daily. And then her friend showed up, and it was this very cutesy chick. And the next thing I know, we started hanging out, talking. And the next thing I know, we fucking making out. And I got her number, and then we started dating. And that was fucking...
She was a Mexican?
She's black.
Okay.
She's black. She's black. She was blackity black. She was a good person. She is a good person. But we dated for 8 years, so that whole time, like, I try to be usually try to be like a good dude.
What's 23 plus 8?
23 to 31.
23 to 31?
Yeah.
All right, so you've just been single the last 4 years.
Yeah, I've been enjoying the absolute shit out of it.
Yeah.
I'm chill, though, in Chicago, bro. I don't really go out on dates right now. I don't, because after
Because you use the apps. I don't use the apps.
well, see, here's the thing. After the breakup, I went around the world for 2 years.
Uh-huh.
I did this whole travel thing. I had money, blah blah blah. And so I got a lot of shit out of my system. And then when I decided to come back to Chicago, I was like, yo, I'm gonna be a comedian, and I'm gonna focus. And I have to make money, so I drive, and so I'd have the apps, but I don't focus too much on them. I don't put any emphasis on them. I'll even ask a girl out, and she'll say yeah, and I'll then ghost the bitch. Cause it's just like a moral win. I'd be like, oh, okay, if I could have fucking worked it, I could have had it. All right, well, let's get back on the grind. You got 2 mics and a show this weekend.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wait, how old were you when you started doing comedy then? When'd you start? How long you been doing comedy?
I did comedy. I did my first open mic when I was 31.
Okay.
When I was 31, before the 2-year trip around the world, I promised myself to.
So you did it before?
Yeah.
That's
so
why
I did
see you.
my first open mic. I did at 773 Stage here in Chicago on Belmont. It was a Sunday morning because it was a second city mic.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to sign up and do all that jazz. And then I went and I did it. And one of the first
Sunday morning one, I remember that one.
One of the first comedians I ever saw was Oscar.
Oh, El Cuchillo.
Carvajal.
That's one of the first ones I seen.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen that was Mexican.
Yeah. And I remembered it I remember the joke distinctly because I was like, oh, this guy must be very good or whatever. And I finished the mic.
What was the joke or the premise he was doing?
He went to Vegas and got really drunk.
Yeah, I know the joke.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And I did my joke. I still love my joke, but it's not woke or whatever at this point.
You call him an N-word.
Nah. It was about transgenders.
Uh-huh.
And so I went on like a 2-year trip around the world. And when I went around the world, I did an open mic in Colombia, did an open mic in London. I entertained everywhere I went, but it wasn't until I came back to Chicago and then I made the decision to like get in comedy, and I was a little scared, so I took a class at Second City.
Uh-huh.
And that kind of...
You don't remember who the teacher was?
Yeah, of course I remember who the teacher was.
Somebody we know?
No.
Oh, okay.
She only does zanies. She does zanies in Second City.
What's her name?
Erin Field.
Sounds familiar. With E-R-I-N?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Erin
I think
Field.
I know the name.
Oh, but I had another teacher. She's around all the place, all the time.
Who's that one?
She used to host Three Dead Moose. Gina? I don't know.
Rena
Calm. Rena Calm stepped in to be our teacher a few times when Aaron wasn't there.
Did? Uh-huh.
Yeah. And but shout outs to Rena.
Yeah, shout out to Rena. Comedy. She's traveling all over the world doing comedy. That was my first mic, Three Dead Moose. It was her and David Drake, but David moved over to New York.
Yeah, no. So the journey took a big, wild circle, but I needed to do the trip around the world. I needed to get this girl out of my blood. And I needed to clear my...
Why'd you guys break up?
It just needed to happen.
Okay. Who broke up with who?
I broke up with her.
Okay.
In reality, we broke up with each other.
Okay.
We were falling apart. I really didn't want to continue my life with her. I didn't want to continue my life.
Uh-huh.
Like the way it was going. I was...
That's when you got the corporate job, right?
Yeah, I was like 6 years into this career. It was 2 years in with this company. They salaried me, benefits, matching everything. It was comfortable. But the work environment, my mindset was tough because I only wanted the job so I can build websites, so I can have an income, so I can travel the world.
Uh-huh.
And everything just kept pulling me dark. And they were like, "Oh, we want to make you a manager." So it was like a small raise, but more responsibility, which I was already putting in 55, 60-hour weeks, overnighters and shit.
Uh-huh.
And we're managing e-commerce. Midas was a client managing, $50,000 a month ad spend.
Uh-huh.
You have to, do a bunch of shit. And it was just a lot. So I was that. And then our relationship was just falling apart. My girl just needed a different dude, and I knew that.
For how long? Like a year?
I knew that around year 5.
Okay.
I knew that around year 5, and I kind of played dumb because
I've been there.
She is beautiful, and then she's a really nice person and deserves all the best in the world.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
But it wasn't gonna come from me. But I was too selfish to let it go. Like literally too selfish to be like anybody, whoever else wants it can have it. But what really sent me over the edge was not only the signs, but like I kind of knew she was seeing somebody.
Uh-huh.
Like not physically, but emotionally, because there's an energy when you're
Yeah,
with someone
dude.
that long. You know, you're like, ooh, your energy's gone. Your energy's pulled.
Like you're there, but you're not
Yeah.
there.
And then I did what I had to do, bro. I fucking broke into her Facebook and I saw that she's been messaging dude for like months, sending him pictures. Nothing illicit, but just like what she wasn't doing with me. She wasn't sending me pictures of anything. It was pictures of like her in the in the mirror, like before a show that we would go to, like all dolled up. And I'm like, oh, I know what you're doing. Oh, I know what you're doing. And I saw his profile, and I'm like, oh, he's perfect. Oh, he's perfect. This nigga perfect. I told her that when I broke up with her. I was like, go get your dude. And they're engaged to get married now.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's good, dude.
Yeah, but I knew it immediately. I knew it. And I needed to break away from the job. I needed to break from her. I had no idea who I was. I had short hair. I was wearing these
you did
glasses.
have short hair.
I was trying to be like corporate-y, but I'm still trying to keep my urban Latino side. I didn't know that side of me, my real Latino side. I lived in Colombia for 6 months, got real in touch with that shit. And I'm happy as shit. And now when I go up to a mic, bro, I have lived like a lot of different stages, and I try to bring that. So I don't look back and regret or anything. And it was the hardest year, but it made me who I am today. You know, you see me, bro. Sometimes I don't give a fuck, but sometimes I'm a different dude.
Yeah.
You know, and I just try to bring it.
Like, it kind of the same thing happened with me, dude. When I was my chick, we were together for a little bit. But when we were together, dude, I wasn't ready, dude. I was a fucking drunk.
When did you get with this girl? How long were you together?
I think I was 25 or something like that.
How long were you together?
I don't remember.
Like 3 years?
3 years and then on and off.
And then on and off.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I didn't do on and off. We
or like off, but then we were still. It was weird.
Yeah, no, I macheted it. I fucking cut the arm off with a machete, and I was like, that's it.
That's how I started doing comedy. When we broke. Well, my dog died. Right. My dog died. Right. And then after that dog died, I left her crib. I left her because what happened was I was at a funeral at my buddy's grandpa's funeral, and then she calls me. Ooh. No tiene nalgas. All right.
Blanquita.
Oh yeah. Anyways, I'm at my dad's grandpa's funeral, right? And she calls me, hey.
Oh shit.
She's like, he just got hit by a car, the dog, and I was like, no. I was like, hey, I gotta go. We go over there.
Wait, she knew you were at a funeral.
Yeah.
And still text you that the dog's
dead. She called
dead.
me. No, he's not dead yet. He just got hit. So then I drive straight over there. We go to the vet.
Christ.
By the time I get there, she's at the vet. I meet her at the vet, and they put the thing around his neck. And they're like, we took some air out of his lungs, but as long as it doesn't come back up, he'll be good. I was like, all right, cool. I go back to the house. Then she calls me. It's like 1 a.m, and I got a caddy the next day. I got to wake up early. And she calls me. And she's like, hey, this dog keeps walking around. He's not going to bed. I was like, all right, I'll be over there. I text my caddy. I was like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna be able to make it to work tomorrow. I drive over there. The dog is, and we're like, there's a 24-hour dog place or whatever, dog place, hospital vet. I don't know, man. I ain't a doctor.
A dog 7-Eleven.
A dog CVS clinic.
Yeah, a dog CVS mini clinic.
So I take him over there, but look, man, as we're walking in, it's in a strip mall, and when I drive by the strip mall, I still get I get mad. But then we're going, and he's about to go into the door. As he's about to go in the door, he kind of collapses. He falls, and I'm like, oh, shit, right? And then they take him, they go in, and they come out, and they're like, it's like 2 minutes or something. They come out, and they're like, oh, he didn't make it. So, you could pay us $200, and we could do this. You could pay us $500. We could dispose of it this way. And I was like, nah, give me my dog, basically.
Yeah,
they were like taxing. They were because they're 24-hour, whatever, they were taxing. So I was like, nah, dude, give me my dog. I was like, we're going to Walmart. We went to Walmart, bought some shovels, some ponchos because it was raining, and then I buried him myself, and I was like...
In the yard.
And then in the yard, in our backyard. And then that next day, I was like... And remember, nobody's died ever in my life. Nobody close to me. So this is the first time...
How long did you have your dog?
I don't know. He was like 2 years old. He was a pretty ass. He was a pit mix. He was like a teenager, dude.
You just started loving the dog.
He was like a teenager, right? And he was mixed with a pit and a black lab.
Nice.
But he had the muscles of a pit, but the temperament of a lag. Like really cool dog. And then I remember when I carried the dog, the body was dead. I've never held it. I was like, man, this is heavy. Like I never felt a dead body, and I was like, fuck, dude. And it all kind of sunk in, right? Because a few months before that, I went to a few mics, or maybe not, but I didn't go to perform. Just went to go watch.
Just see, yeah.
Yeah, I just went to go see. Dobie Maxwell was the host at one of them at Zany's in Old Town. Anyway, you know Dobie? He's in a bunch of drama right now.
No.
He's beefing with a bunch of comics that are doing the Kenosha Comedy Room. Anyways, because he's not involved anymore. So everybody who's doing the show, he hates now.
Stupid ass comedy beef.
I know, it's funny. Anyways, so then that dog, and I'm like, man, and that's the first time I realized, dude, you can go whenever. Like I never really seen like death. It's always been on TV. It's been a distant thing to me.
That's
Never
the first time something hit you?
First time. Nobody close to me has ever died in my life. At that point, up until that
Lucky
point,
motherfucker.
nothing, dude. And I was like 25 or 26 or 28 or wherever fucking old I was. And I was like, that next day, I left her house. I was at her house, but then I left, and then I didn't call her, and she didn't call me, and then that was it, dude. I didn't see her for like 6 months later. Like, actually, the time I saw after that, I was doing a mic because I already started doing mics, and I was doing a mic in back in the burbs, and then she came out and saw me. I was like, man, this is the first time I've seen you. And like, and she was a nice girl, but man, I wasn't ready to like when I met her. Like, I met her, she was already more chill and ready to settle down, and I was just like. Basically, I was a late bloomer. I didn't start drinking when I was 21. And so right there, I was right in my, like, I just want to fucking party.
Yeah, and you're in the middle of that fucking rum springer.
Yeah, dude, exactly. So it was like, and she's a good girl, too, but it's like, fuck. It was at the wrong time. But then the dog died, and I was like, fuck, I can go tomorrow. So I think that next week I went to Shuba's.
Terrible mic to go to after your dog died, by the way.
But it was, what is it? It was before Buzz. It was a Chris Condren, that tall motherfucker, did it. And then, no, you didn't know them? No. He would ride around his skateboard and have his headphones on. But I went there and I didn't even do the mic. I drank too much. Before I got to the mic, I had some whiskey and I got up there and I was like, and I saw the list, but then I kind of pretended I didn't see the list. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. And I had some more PBRs and then I was like, I'm too drunk, dude. I was like, I'm leaving. I left and I was mad at myself. I didn't do a mic. So I was like, fuck it. I Googled a strip club and
you
then.
Dumbass.
Yeah, dude. Come on. And then
you've been the same dude for the last decade, bro. The fact that you got fucked up, dipped on an open mic to go to a strip club does not surprise me at all.
The fucked up part is on the way to the strip club, I started looking. I'd never been to this one, so I started looking at the reviews, and then it's like, oh, the guys are really hot, and I realized I was driving to a gay strip club.
Yes, sir.
And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
get it, queen.
So then I was like, fuck it. I just went to VIPs, and then just fucking. With a coupon, and yeah, and then I started asking the stripper for her number, and I started telling her I was a comic.
God, I'm cringing at your memory.
I'm disgusted. Then I finished it off. Fucking McDonald's, fish fillet and a Big Mac or something, and took my ass home.
Hey, I respect that though. I respect that. Fish fillet is a good call at 4 a.m.
I had one on Friday after my show, dude.
Yeah.
I went to this
fish fillets. What's up?
I went to a friend's house, and then afterwards, I started talking to her about these fish fillets I had at the Rock and Roll McDonald's. It was the best fish fillets I've ever had in my life. Like, I know it sounds stupid, dude.
It is,
but we all were at the drive-thru. We had them right, and we all look at each other. I was like, "That was pretty good, right?" And we're like, "Man, that's the best fish fillet." Right? I was like, "We were like, yeah, dude, yeah."
I think you
were drunk. We're all drunk.
I think
we're all fucked up.
Yeah,
but I still remember. So, anyways, you broke up with a girl, and then what was your first mic? I forgot.
So the first mic was at
773.
But then I waited another, like really, I waited until I came back, and then the next mic I did was Harrigan's. That was 2 years later. Harrigan's.
So when is your second Tito comedy reemergence? When was that? Was it from now?
It's 2017.
What year are we now?
We're in 2019, about to be 2020.
So it's like 2 years?
It's about 2 years.
Okay, so that's why I haven't seen you.
Yeah, people ask me, like, when did you start? I'm like, well, that's a weird question because I did my first one, and then I went 2 years without, and then I got back into Chicago. And then I would do, like, Harrigan's here and there, and I would do, like, Irish Eyes, and I didn't really know the scene, and I was a little nervous. And I was getting pulled. I used to do improv, and I was getting pulled in the improv direction by my friend or whatever. Yeah. I'm pretty good at it. I'm not gonna lie.
You like it?
I love it actually.
Okay.
So when people talk shit about improv, I kind of just laugh at. But in reality, if you do it, you love it. It's like baseball. I can't watch that shit, but if you play, you're like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Okay.
But so anyway, so I went and signed up for the stand-up class at Second City. I figured being at Second City, being around comics, kind of getting that motivation, and then every week we had to be like, yo, did anybody hit open mics? And then I was the only one that was constantly hitting like 5-6 mics. And then, I started listening to podcasts, and then I started talking to St. James because I was like, oh, this dude is he's really funny. And he's like, yeah, man, I hit like 10, 12 mics a week. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, bro, how do you think you're going to get better? And I was like, ah, shit.
What were you hitting before that?
I was in a handful. I really had no direction when I came back to Chicago after traveling, and like my heart was finally healed. And
What happened to your heart?
I mean, the heart was broken because of the.
Oh, I thought you meant like you had actual
you're
heart
an
problems,
idiot.
like
You're
a fucking heart
idiot.
murmur or something.
You're a fucking idiot.
I was like, your heart.
No,
okay.
my soul.
Because you were a swimmer, dude. Maybe you overswam. And
Nah. The breakup did a number. It was. I would always tell people it was the equivalent of shooting your best friend.
Okay.
And killing them.
But you shot him on accident or on purpose?
No, this is like imagine executing your dog.
Oh.
And you knew that dog had to go.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have your plans in your life, and terrible metaphor.
Uh-huh.
But basically, like, she was my best friend, and it was like killing my best friend. And then I had to like kill it dead. Like, we can't talk.
Oh, at all?
We can't be friends. We aren't friends. Stop sending me memes and shit. And like, I played with it for a little bit, but then by 3-4 months into my trip, I just was like, yeah, this is it.
You can't be friends anymore, can you?
And then I was like, we're done. And then I got a message from her like a month or two later saying, I hate you. And then I left that bitch unread for 2 years.
Did you reply eventually?
I replied when I found out her mom, her mother had cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was bogus that she wouldn't tell me that her mom had cancer. But then I had to understand the situation.
Yeah, dude. You never replied to her fucking text. Or you haven't...
The I hate you fucking message?
Oh, not I hate you, but you haven't had any communication.
Yeah, and so I wrote her a letter saying I felt bad or whatever. And then...
A mail letter? Or email?
No, I wrote her a letter, but in a Facebook message. It was a long letter.
Okay.
And then I didn't hear from her again until my sister died.
So she didn't have you blocked on Facebook then?
She doesn't block me on anything. She watches my Instagram stories.
Uh-huh.
I could peep her. I don't know if she actually watches them or just like scrolls through or whatever, but I know that if I put it up 9 out of 10 times, she'll show up as one of the viewers.
The strippers watches my stories too, the one from Miami.
Still,
she was looking at it today.
You know what? Do you if when you post some shit, is that ever in the back of your mind? You're like, oh, hope someone else sees this shit.
I mean, I look at it all the time, dude. Come on, dude.
Dude, I be fucking thirst posting for some hoes, bro.
I don't have it.
I be throwing shit up there with pictures of me and just doing me, or like fucking shirtless pictures and shit, because I'm just thirst trapping these hoes.
I'll take pictures with other girls.
I don't do that.
Or something like that.
I don't do that.
I did that a few times.
In my 2 years of traveling, no matter how many girls I was with or was dating, bro, I never not once put their picture on my social media.
No?
Ever. The girls in Colombia got heated about that shit.
Oh yeah, man! Latin America, they want to be on.
In
Honduras too.
Yeah,
dude.
they want to
take pictures of everything, dude. It's insane.
They want you to post them out and be like, "Hey, you're with me, so post me." And then I'd be like, "Nah," because I don't want to like. Because in that moment, I was still friends with her friends and shit. Even though I was like having a good time in my life, it's just like for me, it just out of respect. Was that like no posting of any females, and then part of me was also like, hey, a player don't show his cards. Okay. There's like a pimp don't show his cards, and so I always kept it on the low. Even to this day, I don't really post up other people on my shit. But yeah, it's funny that they watch you. I mean, granted, it's nice to know she's there, and that she has like a way to like see my life as it I wouldn't even say develops, as it fucking disintegrates in the fucking
I was gonna say unfolds.
As it disintegrates into a bitter comic degenerate that drives a car. But I guess at the end of the day, we'll never be friends. I don't expect it. I don't care for it. But I'm sure the next tragedy that'll force us to talk, it should be cordial.
Yeah, like I'm friendly with my ex.
But I never hated her. Hated her, and we never broke up because of like. Even when I knew that she was with the dude. I didn't break up with her because I hated that part about her. I was just like, it just sucks that this is what's breaking my back. Because I would normally want to talk and figure this out, but I know that we've met the end of this road.
And then when you left, where'd you go to first?
Went to Thailand?
Thailand. How long were you there?
I was 2 months.
And then where'd you stay? Like in a
hostels, bro.
I don't know.
I'm a hostel guy. I don't do hotels. Hotels are for bougie, boring ass people. I do hostels, party hostels, all-inclusive hostels. I'll do a 60.
The fuck's an all-inclusive hostel?
You pay like $30 a night, and it includes the bar and dinner.
And
that's usually good because a lot of these hostels you get real fucked up at.
Is it a mix of men and women or mostly dudes? Or
No, it's just mixed mostly men and women.
Most men and women?
So there'll be like an all girl dorm.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, usually in every hostel has like an all girl dorm. There'll be the mixed room and then there'll be privates. And I would always just get the mixed because it's the cheapest.
It was okay.
And it's just bunk beds, and like you could put like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 bunk beds in this room.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be 12. This would be a 12-person dorm, and if it's guys and girls, it'd be called mixed.
Okay.
And that's it.
So we're like in a what is this, like a 15 by 15 room or something?
There'll be lockers, and there'll be like a bathroom, an in-suite bathroom, usually multiple, or just a bathroom and shower, and you just got to figure it out, or a community one. And I would always like stay at party hostels. So you would just throw your shit there, and there'd be a bar at the lobby that doesn't really close. And usually we have DJs, beer pong, like games.
It doesn't never get sketchy?
What do you mean sketchy?
I don't know. Somebody try to stab somebody or?
Nah, bro. Everybody is dude, travelers. See, this is what I love about traveling, bro. You're not with Americans, which is good, because their world knowledge is very limited compared to Europeans.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, clearly.
Uh-huh.
Nah, bro. Everything's love, bro. Everything's fun, bro. But if you ever go to a hostel and you run into a group of Australians, you gonna have a good time. These motherfuckers know how to party. They're my favorite people to party with. Party with Australians, party with Germans, the Dutch are fucking crazy. Argentinos, even though they're annoying, they're fucking great to party with. Yeah, and you just go hostel to hostel to hostel. You just jump around, meeting people, meet and greet, get everybody's contact, and then I was supposed to.
So who are most of these people are? What age are they? Is it a mix or like
they're probably
mid-20s or
probably between like 20 to 40. Because even
40.
Yeah.
Tell me about the 40-year-olds.
It's a lot of ex-lawyers, ex-doctors, people that just got burnt out, sold all their shit, and were like indefinitely going through the world. And I met a lot of those people. They were like, oh, what are you? Well, I worked in corporate law for 15 years. I'm about to be 40. I hate my life. And I sold my car, my everything. And now I have 150 grand, and I'm just going to fucking milk it. And there was a lot of those people. And then there's people like me who were just like, I never got to be myself. I don't know what that is. I'm just going to be here doing drugs with people and partying until I figure something out. And one day I legitimately was entertaining like 30 people with some story, some girl that fucking left me on New Year's. And they're cracking up, and And I'm just like, holy fuck, I'm a comedian. You just have this like moment where you're like, oh fuck.
So did you realize later in life you want to do comedy?
I knew since I was a kid.
Okay.
But this was just like this. Everything was cleared out. All the drama was cleared. All the stress in life was cleared. I was at my most mentally clearest when I was traveling. And that's when it was just like constant reaffirmation. Like, dude, you are a storyteller. You are a entertainer.
What was that story you were telling them? The New Year's story.
Jesus. I was telling the story of how I hooked up with this Swedish girl.
Is this in a different country?
This is in Thailand.
It's not in Waukegan. Okay.
That's not Waukegan. Nowhere near Waukegan. And basically, long story short, I'm supposed to hook up with this girl, but I lose her right after midnight to this Argentinian dude built like fucking Michael Phelps. And I'm telling this story of how, you could see it in her face when they saw each other that her panties came off and shit. And his name was Antonio or whatever the fuck. And he was just like, my name is Antonio. A pleasure to meet you. And I was like, God damn it. You can see his Swedish panties coming off. And I was like, oh, it's over for me.
Hey, wait, what country were you in?
I was in Thailand.
In Thailand.
We were at a party. We were at a New Year's party in Koh Phangan, which is known for its full moon parties.
What the fuck's a full moon party?
Just look it up. It's one of the largest, parties in Southeast Asia.
What's up, Playboy?
Yoni
Heisler.
Yoni Heisler, everybody. He doesn't have a mic, but he's miming to us saying
he's
hungry.
Right now. I don't know what he's saying.
He's on a date.
You're on a date, huh, Yoni? What's up, Yoni?
I think he wants fries. We don't have fries.
No, I don't have fries.
I don't have fries, Yoni. What's that? I don't have any fries. Oh yeah. Oh, we got some fries.
What's the name of
coming.
this place? Matt, we're at.
So this isn't a particular place. This is an entire like section of an island that throws a party twice a month, and it's called the full moon party because it happens exactly at the full moon, and it's just like the string of bars on this beach. It starts like in one end and it ends at Mushroom Mountain, which is this bar that's on the side of this hill.
So the bars close and people go to the other ones, or just people just walk?
Everything's open and everything's open. DJs and everyone's walking. Everyone buys buckets of alcohol, which I never did. I just kept drinking out of other people's buckets. And then Mushroom Mountain, they would sell strawberry shakes with psychedelic mushrooms, and you would just like down 3 of them, and you start tripping balls, and then you just go downstairs, and everyone's just there, and it's like it's fucking mayhem. It's mayhem. And I went to that party 3 times.
Is this mostly? But this is not Thai. Is it mixed of Thai people with foreigners, or is
there's
this all foreigners?
there's no Thai people entertaining themselves. They are selling you and making money.
Oh, okay. So it's all
foreigners. All foreigners. There is no Thai person having a good time.
Nah, they're working.
The only ones that were having a good time, there's these like dudes. They're from Sri Lanka, I think. But they play with fire. These fucking dudes.
Yeah.
And they fuck a lot of like Australian and British girls.
With them fire moves?
Yeah, dude. I talked to one. He fucks at least a girl or two every other day. Because he puts these fire shows on them, and then he makes them stand up, and they come to him. And they get in front of him because he does this like fire thing around them. He tries to make out with them during the fire shit. And then they do. You know, because a lot of times everyone's inebriated, bro. Everyone's hammered.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember me and my buddy found this girl and her mother. The girl was 18. Her mother was like 44, bro. And they were German. And my buddy was like, "Hey, yo, I'm gonna take the daughter." I was like, "Bet, I'm gonna take the mom." And then he was hooking up with the daughter. I was gonna hook up with the mom. The mom started telling me how her husband was fucking leaving her and all this shit. And I was like,
"It's okay, baby. Don't make it better."
And then she messaged me like later that night because I was like, "Dude, I'm not feeling this amount. Like this bitch is sad. Like I'm sad too, but I don't want to hear about it. You know what I'm saying?" She sent me a message later. She's like, "Oh, I should have kissed you or whatever." I was like, "Shut up."
What accent is that?
I don't know, bro. I'm trying to figure out my German accent.
She was German?
Yeah. It's all mumbled in my head. But it was a great time, bro. I highly recommend if you ever get your heart broken and you need to get the fuck out of here, go to Thailand.
Nah, I get my heart broken all the time. I just do more mics.
Yeah, you don't gotta give your heart out though. Don't give your heart out.
I know. Next time I won't.
Yeah, but this was a solid move, man. I think that it just made me a better person.
How many countries did you visit in that time? Those 2 years?
18.
18.
Yeah.
So where you went? What was your favorite country?
Colombia.
Because
I fell in love. I fell in love with this girl. I fell in love with 2 girls.
I could bet, dude.
I fell in love with 2 girls.
I kind of want to go to Colombia.
And the first girl, man, to this day we still talk. She just sent me a message today, and I replied. I love this girl. If I never,
you don't want a 90-day fiancé her? 90-day.
I would 90-day fiancé her.
Yeah.
But you know what? She's just turned into like such a good friend. If a relationship might ruin it, because I'm a dick. You know? So in Colombia, I fell in love. But not only did I fall in love with like these girls, but like I just fell in love with life again, bro. Everything was going out dancing. Everything was just about being yourself. Everything was just
so you had all this money saved up from your old job? Okay.
Well, I mean, I thought we were going to get married. I thought I was going to have to like buy a ring or save for like a crib or something. So I just started putting like $500-600 away every month. My cost of living is low. And so for like a year and a half, and then all of a sudden I had like almost 15 stacks. And that's not including my fucking tax refunds. Yeah. The tax refunds were like $4,500 or whatever. And so I was good to go. And I was a maniac, bro. In Colombia, I was flying bitches left and right. I was putting chicks on planes and flying them to different cities. I was balling out of control.
I was thinking about doing that this year.
I mean, you should, bro.
I'm already DMing somebody.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Colombia is great. Like, I wanted to be a web entrepreneur. I wanted to build websites, e-commerce stores, something to create a source of funding so I could just indefinitely travel the rest of my life, until I realized that I want to be a comedian. Like that was the dream as a kid.
What, it hit you when you were out of the country?
It just nailed it in. It just nailed it in, bro. When I was entertaining a room full of hostile backpackers from 10 different countries, and everyone was eating every fucking word I was saying as I was just telling a story. And I had done that multiple times. And everybody was just like, oh, your fucking story. And then it kept getting me, it got me drinks, it got me drugs, it got me fucking laid, it got me everything. And I was like, yo, this comedy shit is amazing. I need to do this. And I can combine comedy with traveling. See, here's the thing is when you travel without a purpose, right? You have money, you save up, you're like, I'm going to go see the world. All right, cool. But what the honestly, bro, after 2 months, bro, the beach is just a beach, bro.
I hate
it's just
beach.
water.
I hate the beach, but it's like I get annoyed by it because it's like, what else are you going to do? You know what I mean?
I get it.
I could do the beach for a day, dude.
But like, if you don't have a purpose for being there,
dude,
or
I
for
do shit,
then what you would do? Like, if you had a successful podcast and you had advertising, it, blah blah blah. Yeah, you get your ass to Puerto Rico, get your ass to Punta Cana, whatever you want, and you can do that. But like, if I can travel and do comedy somehow, made it.
What about those Europe? You see, John just got back from Europe. He did that whole thing. Have you looked into that?
Doing I was gonna talk to him about it. You know, he doesn't seem like he's a very chatty dude, to be honest with you. And I get it, but he did post how he did it. He has his long post. That
he did put a post.
Yeah, it's a long post about how he did it. And I'm open to that. I don't want to go back to Europe right away. I'd rather do Latin America. And I'd rather, instead, he did it in 36 days because he had to come back for work or whatever. I would probably go for like 4 months. I would try to do like a winter thing where I would travel backpack for 4 months, do a podcast or something like as I go, and then just book shows every few days throughout different towns. And they have to be major cities because what an English speaking crowd exists in the fucking boonies of any Latin American country.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would love something. That would be my ideal thing. I don't have to be famous, bro. I don't have to be such a rich or well-paid comic. If I can just put that kind of shit together, I would be happy. 4 months out of the year, I'm a traveling comic in Latin America or Europe. And the rest of the time, I'm back in Chicago doing my thing.
Did you talk to, what is it? Jaime and someone, they went to Mexico City, right? Where the fuck is my club soda? They went to Mexico City.
Yeah, I talked to some of the people that they knew down there too when I did open mic in Mexico City. This guy Martin Leon, what's up, Martin? He put me in touch with the owners of Pinche Gringo Barbecue, which hosts a monthly showcase. And everybody's messaging me for the mic. And yeah, I mean, you know what? But here's the thing. I don't know if I am funny enough yet.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you give me 20 minutes in front of a crowd, am I really going to murder right now? I don't think so. I think at 10 minutes, 8 to 10, I can hold my own and be good. But I have enough respect for the game and enough respect for the craft that I'm just not going to, like, milk the spot for it. I want to earn it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And know that I can go there and give you that 20 minutes of, like, solid material. And I think that might take, like, another year.
Yeah. Like, man, there's, like, 15 I had maybe a year ago, where now it's like, I don't.
Now that you really think about it, you're like, that shit is trash.
I don't even do that. I don't do this stuff. I don't really don't do this stuff. And now, like, when I'm going to shows, I'm looking at certain set lists, and I'm like, even a few months ago, there's jokes where, like, they're slowly getting, I don't know, man.
Yeah, they're aging.
Fading out, dude. They're fading out.
It's funny because I was at this, I don't know where I was, but I was crushing the crowd with new stuff, and then I'm like, oh, man, I remember this old joke that kind of can fit in here or whatever, and it always worked. And I threw it in there, and it just dud. It was a dud.
It's a dud because you don't even like it. You don't want to do it. Like,
yeah, and I think emotionally, your body sells it that they're like, yeah,
you don't commit to it because you don't believe in it, dude, and it doesn't work. Like, there's jokes like that where I put in there at a show, and I'm like, man, let me try this joke, and it's like I do, and it's like it does because I shouldn't have done it. You don't want to do it, man.
Yeah, and you know what? Part of you wants to go back and rework some old stuff because you put a lot of time into that shit. But all that did was get you to the point where you're at now, where you can understand what you want. You can probably come up with a better joke as a riff tonight than something you've been working on, that you worked on a year ago.
Yeah,
that you thought through and wrote down.
And the material is doing. I don't know. It's weird stuff.
My material right now surrounds itself around dating, sex, and my fucking family.
How's your dating life going?
It's not good.
No,
I don't date. Again, I reiterate.
What does dating mean, by the way?
Dating means meeting a girl out, having dinner, drinks, and trying to see her again, or continue.
Oh, that stuff. Yeah, that's kind of.
I mean, I would basically say I've dated. I
do that every once in a while, but it's like it's rare for me. I'll see you at the bar, at the ratchet bar.
I mean, to be fair, dude, I don't. I honestly, I don't even think I date. I just tell girls to come over. At this point, I'm like, listen, let's fuck. I gotta be somewhere. Yo, if you coming through, we smash. We good. And there's been a few that are like, bet, bet. And I'm like, hell yeah, all right, cool. And I don't really like wine and dine. I don't wine and dine. Not right now. But I make sure they know that going in. Like, hey, man, I'm an entertainer. I'm not like in showbiz, but like I'm getting there, and the work that I'm putting in is going to make sure that I get there faster. And so I don't have time for you.
You want to have kids?
Yeah, I want a family eventually, but responsibly. I don't want any unaffordable children.
Dude, like a year ago, or a few months ago, I wanted to get somebody pregnant. I just had it in me, but I'm not. It went away, dude. It went away.
Dude, I had a girl ask me to get her pregnant.
Really?
Yeah, in Mexico. Not in Mexico. She's from Mexico. We fuck around when I'm always there. And she just messaged me, like, she's just like, hey, can you just put a baby in me?
Are you going to do it?
Nah. She promised that she wouldn't call me, whatever, but I'm like, it's not about you, bro.
Yeah.
I can't do that to another. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a human, as a responsible person.
How old is she?
She's probably 28.
Okay.
She's cute. She's a little Jewish girl. Little Mexican Jewish.
Another Jewish Mexican?
Another Jewish man. I don't know. They come around, especially when they know you do comedy. And yeah, she asked me to put a baby, but that wasn't the problem. The problem was what her thinking was, why she needed it, and we figured that out. But
why
yeah.
she want a baby?
Sometimes when you live under your parents' thumb, man, you
want a way to get out.
Yeah, she wants a way to get out, and it ain't gonna be through me. Nope.
You ever have any close calls?
To be honest, no.
No. Right?
I did have a girl. Oh, this is.
What do you date? You Latinas, right?
I date black girls. I date Latinas, and I date crazy
white
bitches.
Okay.
Yeah, they have to be crazy. Can't be no fucking. I work
Oh
downtown. I'm an
I moved here from
executive. I
Ohio.
can't. Oh my god, Starbucks is amazing. No, I can't do that shit. I need a broken bitch. I date what you call spooky bitches. I think that's the. I had a close call with one. She was a Panamanian witch. She was a self-described female shaman in the spiritual.
What?
Yeah, it's a bunch of weird shit. She ended up faking a pregnancy to try to get me to date her. We fucked around for a few weeks. Really, 1 week.
Is this in the States or is this?
It's Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And we had met at the end of my 2-year trip, and yeah, she just kind of like fell for. I mean, I don't say fall for anything, but when you do these when you do travel romances, when you meet a bitch on the road or whatever, you can be very vulnerable. You can be very open because you know it ends soon. There's no real, so you just give into it and you kind of like let it go. When it's over, but she couldn't let it go, bro. She just couldn't let it go, bro. And then one day she called me saying she was pregnant. She sent me pictures of her belly. She sent me fucking these questionable ass fucking pee fucking result things or whatever, and just would egg on me for like 2 months, bro. She wouldn't let me, dude. I hate that I got a new phone. I deleted all her WhatsApp messages, bro. She would leave me messages saying she was gonna kill herself. She was gonna jump in front of a bus and everything because I wouldn't call her back, bro. I was like, this bitch is crazy. Best sex though. Baddest bitch I ever banged, dude. I was
you don't
surprised.
got pictures of her, dude?
Yeah, dog. I'll show it to you.
Show me after.
Yeah, I'll show it to you after. She's the baddest bitch. She's Italian and Panamanian. Italian Panamanian. Black physique, Italian facial thing with blue hazy eyes. It's just and fake boobies. She put in fake boobies and baddest girl I've ever seen. Baddest
she do
girl.
coke?
No, she didn't do drugs.
Okay,
She
really?
didn't do drugs. She getting me really fucked up though.
Okay.
Yeah, she got.
She didn't do anything. I thought she was a shaman. Do something not psychedelic.
She would have a drink or two, but she was very smart. She had 4 master's degrees, and she would use your words against you, which I think is why she liked getting me drunk. She was very manipulative, very emotionally manipulative, everything. Best sex in a long time, craziest shit I've ever done. Bitch was nuts.
Dude, I used to fuck this Argentinian chick, dude. She was. I met her on.
Dog, we are gonna come off as such assholes
I don't give a fuck.
on this fucking podcast.
I don't give a fuck, dude.
I'm just saying, dude. Just fucking.
Anyways, I don't give a shit, dude. I'm not woke. I'm not
Nah,
progressive.
I ain't woke at all.
Dude. I ain't woke and progressive as fuck at all. Anyways, man. But so this, I met her on. I don't even want to say it's embarrassing, but you know what Plenty of Fish is, right? It's the app, but
No.
it's oh you don't. Oh, okay. It's like it's one of the apps, right? But it's like the sub app where a lot of single moms, overweight, just not the most. It's man, it's like you know how there's Home Depot and Hobo? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like the Hobo or something like that.
That's what you shop at, bro.
Yeah, it's like the secondhand Tinder or something like that. It's a thrift. It's like the thrift. You know what I mean? Like, or is there something worse than Ross? Ross isn't that bad, dude. Marshalls is better than Ross.
TJ
dude.
Maxx.
Those are way better than Ross. Anyway,
Actually, I like Ross. Not gonna lie to you.
but it's a thrift store.
Oh,
of apps,
Five
dude.
Below.
Oh,
Five
yeah,
Below.
Five Below,
Five
dude.
Below.
So I'm on Five Below, Plenty of Fish, right? And I meet this girl, dude. Because I always go to local, whoever's closest, because I don't like to drive far or do anything. And
Yeah, you do, bro.
for comedy, not for pussy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Except no. I like proximity. I like proximity when it comes to companionship.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I like somebody within about 15 minutes.
Yeah, dude. Like that's the max. If you live for, and it's like, man, you gotta have it going on or something. But anyways, I meet her. Anyways, I meet her, and I remember like I'm trying to like, hey, let me come over, let me stop by, and then she was like, no, we've never even met, and I was like, let me come over. She's like, no. I was like, how do I know you're not a psycho? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, look, I'm not. She's like, okay, do you promise? And I was like, you know, I don't know, you're not gonna kill me. He's like, you promise you're not psycho or anything? I was like, yeah, I promise. Gave me the address, and then but yeah, she was.
You promise?
Yeah, and I was
you
like,
promise you're not gonna kill
me, dude. And then she
oh
said,
my God.
and I said, yeah, I swear, I swear I'm not a serial killer. And she sends me her address, and I'm looking at this like, is this for real? Like, what if I am a serial killer?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like it didn't take a lot of research.
No, dude.
Not like she asked you for your like latest 3 addresses or whatever, and
She
try
said
to
you
like
promised.
confirm, bro. That's what I don't
So
know.
she was just ready, dude. She was ready. So then I would go over there, and then I, oh man, dude. But she was Argentinian. She was a little bit. She was like looking for something, but it's oh man. She was.
I find Latin girls, at least the ones that I date, are usually more connected to the home country.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she was Argentine. She was
yeah,
very
because I
connected.
find a lot of the Latinas here, at least the ones that are like born here, they're very disconnected. So the culture's has shifted. They're more Americanized.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when they're ideals. So the Latinas over there that I've come across are so warm. They're so loving. They're so giving. And they're so much easier to be with, if that makes any sense. I know that's coming off as hella doggish or whatever, but I don't care. I don't think your audience
No, they're
is
not.
that.
My
Yeah, I don't think it's
no.
that. But
Trust
like,
me.
if I'm not in love, but I really like this girl that I met in Puerto Rico. She lives in Florida now. She got a kid.
Puerto Rican or Florida, I'm shocked.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. I mean, after Maria, everybody's
Oh yeah,
gone.
now I feel like an asshole. Go ahead.
Yeah, you are an asshole.
But before
And-
that, all right.
And she, man, if she just wasn't in Florida, she was here, that'd be my girl. That would be it.
What is she? Did she have a good job in Florida?
Yeah, she's like a manager, like a big manager, whatever, in Costco. And she got promoted and got to pick. She actually had the chance to pick between Chicago or the Fort Lauderdale or whatever Costco. And she picked obviously the Florida because she's like, I didn't know anyone in Chicago, and then we met like 3 weeks later.
No,
Yeah.
dude, that's like a movie, dude.
Yeah, she's dope. Yo, Elvia, what up, girl?
You ever travel out? You ever go
yeah.
to Florida?
Yeah. I went in April. I went for a week. I lined up like 4 comedy shows.
Oh yeah, you went to Miami, right?
Yeah. And she came through, and then she brought friends and shit. And then I met up with my my nephew down there. It was dope. And I'm actually still spending a night with her because I'm going to Puerto Rico the 17th of December. But I got a layover in Fort Lauderdale, and I made sure it was like 15 hours. So when I get to the airport, I'm just gonna take a ride to go hang out with her. But she's Latina. She understands America, English, all that shit. But they dance. You know what I'm saying? They don't drink a lot. It's all about the fun, la familia. It's just a different vibe, man. I fucking love it. And here you don't get that. I feel like girls are a little bit more like they want to be independent and they want their own career and their jobs. But when it comes to relationships, it feels like a battle, bro. It feels like a battle between us. It ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, why the fuck are we fighting?
You gotta
about
play the
shit?
game over here a lot more.
You know, so when I travel, bro, that's what I realized. If I want to get married, I want kids, and if it's not a Latina, I want the next.
Not a crazy white girl, right? I
Nah.
hope not, dude.
I love
Like tattoo?
I
What
love
is
black
these?
girls. I love black
Okay.
girls. I love Afro Latinas, black girls, just darker skin, that fuller bodied, passionate when they yell at you. It's passionate too. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like with white or Caucasians,
I'm scared of white women.
I have to teach them too much, bro. I gotta teach them about my culture, and then I gotta teach them about two cultures, and then I don't got time to like introduce you to shit. Like Starbucks ain't coffee culture. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just whatever. It's fast food coffee. And I have, there's just a
I think I
different
can get
level of
along. I feel sometimes I can get along more with kind of more either Southern or white trashy people than I can with Midwest kind of like uppity.
Yeah, the Midwest suburban.
It's hard because they're like, oh, everything's like by the book. It's weird. It's
gotta
like,
follow the rules and shit all the time.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we go.
I dated a girl in college. She got so mad. She's like, why can't you just follow the rules? And I was like, "Fuck the rules, bitch. What are you talking about?" Because I would get in the middle lane, and it would be the left lane is on to turn left on the left, and turn right's on the right, and I would get in the middle lane, and then as soon as the light changed, I would just turn left, and I would cut in front of everybody. She's like, "Oh my god, you're so annoying," and I'd be like, "Bitch, fuck you, shut up. Who the fuck are you standing? Are you representing the state right now in some sort of fucking case, bro? Are you serious?"
She ever see you do a U-turn, dude? Yeah. Out.
And then I dated this other girl, and she was very American, and I had to explain. She's like, "Why does your family know everything about you?" And I was like, "Cause that's what we do." I'm like, how do you? I don't know about your family, but like Latinos, we tell each other shit. My mom is one of my closest friends. My sister is one of my best friends. My sister knows everything, bro. Everything. You know what I'm saying? If I had like a best man I'd be like, yo, this is going to be my sister, bro. She knows everything.
How's your sister?
She's 36.
Okay.
She's a year.
She's only a year older than you?
Like a year and a few months. We're like Irish twins or whatever they're called.
I don't know what Irish twin is, dude.
It's basically you're born under 2 years apart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my sister.
Where's she? She lives here in Chicago?
She's in Southern California. She's in San Diego.
Oh, San Diego's not bad. I thought you were going to say LA. Like, Pobrecita, dude.
Nah,
Have you been to California recently, dude? Don't.
Not recently, but I was there.
Okay.
We'll give it like a few more minutes because I got to set up for the mic and I got to put the list out in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But no, she lives in Southern California. She's a priestess. She's a shaman. She's a tantra.
Tantra's when you don't come?
Tantras, yeah, something like that. It's just basically she's helping women explore their femininity and their feminine power or whatever the fuck.
I should get into that.
My sister's just been into spiritual stuff and spiritual journeys since I've known that bitch. She's just been always looking for the connection between mind, body, and soul. And she's a G. She's a genius, bro. She got her master's at 22, bro. She's a fucking G. She skipped like 2 grades in grammar school, and she just wants to like live her fullest life and like spiritually help people to like better themselves.
She's single? She got a man?
She's poly, bro. She dates like 9 niggas at one time.
Oh, for real? Is she poly?
Yeah, she's poly.
I thought that was just white people. I didn't know Latinos are doing it now too.
She's like one of the I've been down there. I went to her birthday party a year and a half ago. It was wild. It was one of the wildest parties. And yeah, me, her, and another girl and like this black dude made up the diversity, and it was like 50 people at this crib. And my sister doesn't really
47
care.
47 white people?
Yeah, my sister doesn't really care. She's
What's
cool.
San Diego?
She's cool with white folks. Like she dates primarily white
Caucasian
dudes.
dudes.
Yeah. And it's just because she
because white dudes will be down with that. Latinos ain't down with that shit.
Yeah,
dude.
I told her that. I'm like, you couldn't date no fucking
Latino poly, dude.
You serious?
Yeah, dude.
You serious?
Yeah.
That's how you end up dead in the river, bitch.
Yeah.
That's how you
Latino. He's like, what you mean? Poly?
Yo, this is how I know she fucking loves white dudes, bro, because they don't do shit. So she was with
do what the fuck you want,
she
dude.
was
White dude.
She was with this dude in Vegas. She was with this dude in Vegas for like 8 years or whatever. And they were together from college, and then they moved together to Vegas, and she lived with him. They had a crib, the townhouse, and everything, bro. She breaks up with this dude, and then she starts dating this other dude, and she starts bringing the other dude to their townhouse, nigga. She told me on the phone, I'm like, bitch, you gonna end up dead. Bitch, you gonna end up dead. How you doing this? And she's like, no, because they love me and they understand.
Wow, that's so white.
And then I was like, bitch, no, you don't understand. If I live with you and we break up and you bring your new man into my crib, you're both not leaving, bro. You know what I'm saying? And dude, she's like, no, we're just full of love and this. I'm like, nah, bitch, that's not how this works. That's not how to.
Oh wow, I gotta learn more about my sister. All right, we gotta start the mic too. Where are we at? What's his location at?
We are at Maxwood Grilled
Maxwood
in Wicked Park. It's 1801 West Division.
Every Tuesday, right?
Every Tuesday, there's the wood you can see right there where they make all their food from.
Oh, there is wood here. Yeah, there's wood.
Every Tuesday, 10 o'clock, open mic. My name is Tito. I'm the host. Please don't judge me based on this.
And what's your social media?
Tito's Tales, TITOS,
IG.
TALES. I post my stories, my videos, everything is there on IG. And then Facebook, Tito Tales, the page will be coming out by January.
Tito Tales. Oh, you doing a page? What about you fuck with Twitter?
Nah.
Twitch?
Nah.
TikTok?
Nah.
I just got a TikTok.
Why the fuck you getting TikTok?
I don't know. I just logged in to take the name, but I don't really
I did
fucking use it.
Snapchat for a minute, and I was tired of it already.
I got to take a picture for my Snapchat. And then I'm Jemian Diaz. What am I? Lobo 9110, the Lobo Den podcast, which is in. I think that's it. And I'll hit you up before I release this if anything's coming up. All right. Thank you, Tito. He gone.
Peace.
Lobo Den, Lobo Den, Lobo Den.